In Washington, a suspect who claimed to have a bomb on Capitol Hill is now in custody. Video shows Floyd Roseberry surrendering peacefully after an hours-long standoff. Multiple agencies responded to reports of a suspicious vehicle outside the Library of Congress just after 9 Thursday morning. Investigators say Roseberry claimed to have explosives inside his truck and reportedly flashed a detonator. Several nearby government buildings were evacuated. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge joins me now with more. Hi there, Catherine. So what more can you tell us about this?
Well, right now, Elaine, we've got 2 steps in the investigative process. Step number 1 is doing what they call clearing the vehicle. That means investigators are looking at that truck. They're trying to discern whether there were explosives in the vehicle, and then they're trying to determine whether there was a viable explosive device. If that is the case, and we haven't seen any evidence of that so far, they'll do what's called a controlled explosion to minimize the impact of that device. The second part of this investigation is looking at the claim from the suspect that there were a handful of other individuals involved, also with vehicles and with explosives. But again, we've seen no evidence, and there's been no confirmation that there was anyone beyond this one suspect, Elaine.
And Catherine, I know it's obviously early on in the investigation, but what do we know so far about the suspect?
Well, the suspect is 49 years old. He's from North Carolina. What we heard at the news conference is that this is not an individual with a law enforcement background or a military background, and he has some minor criminal offenses. The issue that really jumps out is that based on conversations with the family members, he'd recently had a loss in his immediate family, was not coping well, and was off his medication. So this is someone on its face who was having a very significant mental health crisis that played out on the steps of the Capitol today, Elaine.
Taking a step back, I wonder, Catherine, is the response by law enforcement to these types of incidents now shaped by those events that unfolded on January 6th?
The response today was absolutely shaped by January 6th. It was much more coordinated and streamlined. But I think what ultimately shaped it is that you had a suspect who made, based on our reporting, at least 2 threats of an explosive device. The first to police, saying that he had a detonator in his hand, sometimes referred to as a dead man's switch. Think of it like a clothespin. The person is holding it open, but if they lose their grasp and it closes the circuit, it sets off the initiation and then the detonation. And then the second came from this live stream from inside the truck where the suspect said if a bullet comes towards the windshield, that will detonate the device. That could be a pretty complex device where you have what's like a glass break alarm in your house. You wire that up to the glass, that goes to the battery, that goes to the explosives. So any disruption there would lead to a devastating impact. But again, we haven't seen any evidence yet that the device or the explosives in that truck were viable. But again, a very serious 2-pronged threat from the suspect involved, Elaine.
More broadly, Catherine, the Department of Homeland Security issued a new terrorism advisory last Friday, citing threats posed by domestic terrorists. How are federal officials working to address this?
Well, Elaine, I think the leading edge right now, based on my reporting here at CBS News, is that this last week in Afghanistan is a major inflection point and a moment to reset the calculus for U.S. intelligence officials. I've covered this issue since 9/11, and there certainly was a feeling that 20 years out from the attack, al-Qaeda, ISIS, the targeting and recruitment of Americans inside the United States was very much in the rearview mirror. That calculus has now changed. A counterterrorism contact tells me that 20 al-Qaeda groups have released 24 statements globally praising what's happened in Afghanistan and the resurgence of the Taliban. They have called it a boon to their operations and a great win over the United States. So that goes to the propaganda value. It goes to also the recruitment value. And I come back to a very basic idea that I learned 2 decades ago, which is that terrorism is like water. It takes the path of least resistance, and it's a thinking and patient enemy. You move one way, and then it moves the other. And unfortunately, I believe this may be what we're facing once again in Afghanistan, Elaine.
Really sobering thought. Catherine Herridge for us. Catherine, thank you very much.
You're welcome.